Hello to you all. I hope you all are having a good Friday. And it is time to check out some electric guitar history. And today the brand is Ibanez. So let's get it on. So the story begins in Japan 1908. A company called Hoshino Kaki was opened in Nagaya, originally selling sheet music and instruments. In the 1920s they began importing classical guitars from Spanish luthier named Salvador Ibanez. After the original Spanish factory was destroyed in Spanish Civil War about 1936, I think. Well, after that, Hoshino acquired the rights to the name from Salvador, and so they started building guitars under the brand Ibanez, and that's how the brand Ibanez was born. Fast forward to the 1960s and early 70s, Ibanez made a name for itself by producing high-quality copies of American guitars like Gibson Les Paul, Fender Stratocaster and Rickenbacker. These guitars were super affordable, well-made and surprisingly good, sometimes even better than the originals. The so-called lawsuit era came halt in 1977 when Gibson parent company Norlin sued Ibanez for copying the headstock design. The lawsuit was settled out of court, but Ibanez took new path. No more copies. It was time to create something original. And they surely delivered the goods. In the late 1970s, Ibanez began releasing bold original models like the Artist series. It brought elegant style and great playability. 1978 came the first Signature series. They made a guitar for Paul Stanley of Kiss, the Iceman. It really stood out with its sharp design. But the golden era for Ibanez was the 1980s, the golden age of shred guitar. In the 1983 Roadstar 2, awesome guitars. I owned a Roadstar 2. It was my first electric guitar. And in the 19 they introduced two new models, the Erki 550 and the Gem 777. Of course, the Gem was designed with Steve Vai. It featured watercolors, the famous monkey grip and wine inlays. Alongside the Erki series was a little bit stripped down but high performance machine. It became the ultimate shred guitar. Couple of years after that, in 1989, Ibanez dropped the Universe, the first mass-produced 7-string electric guitar in that time. Steve Vai used it, and then came Korn, and the sound of modern metal changed forever. And then we get to the 2000. Ibanez kept evolving. They introduced the Prestige series, high-end Japanese craftsmanship guitars, because mainly nowadays the middle-priced Ibanez guitars are made in Indonesia. And then there is the Artco line that is semi-hollow for blues and jazz players. And then there is the Iron Label series that is pure metal. And in this modern era, Ibanez haven't slowed down a bit. In the 2018 they introduced the EG series, a very versatile, elegant and built for modern session players and fusion shredders. But in my opinion, it's just a copy of Fender Strat, basically, with some Ibanez stuff going on with that. But anyhow, then came the Q series, short for Quest. They are headless guitars, very ergonomic and made for speed, accuracy and innovation. And there is so many guitar legends that play Ibanez guitars that it would take me about 20 minutes to name them all, but let's start from the old guard. Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Paul Gilbert, Adrian Smith, I think he played Ibanez Destroyer in the 80s and still does sometimes. New players, Tim Henson, Larry Basilio, and many more, but there are many guitar players that like the Ibanez. So, there you go, over 100 years of guitar history, from copies to custom legends, from vintage to hollow bodies to futuristic headless setters. A legendary brand and legendary guitars. Hey, thank you for watching, leave a comment below if I missed out something, and please subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, and until the next time. See ya.